On this episode of Negative Modifier, we'll be playing the game Deltagreen. Deltagreen is a mature tabletop RPG that tackles various dark and unsettling themes and topics that some listeners may find traumatizing, harmful, or generally uncomfortable. Listener discretion is advised. The Blancheville Police Department office is a relatively unremarkable building, fairly kind of generic bureaucracy, if you will, from the outside. One story, some glass in the front you enter through, not a lot going on as best you can tell. Large parking lot in front of it, walled off parking lot behind it you assume has the various police vehicles and whatnot. It's got a couple flags out front. It's got a kind of big crest showing off the logo for the city of Blancheville, which doesn't mean much to you. Lights are on. I wouldn't call them inviting. A couple of them are burnt out, not in an ominous way, in a maybe maintenance isn't our biggest kind of hot topic kind of way. Easy enough to find parking if you want. You go straight inside. You kind of plan on the parking lot some.
I have no initial. I'm going to turn over to the team and I go, they said they might be a little bit short-staffed, so we'll be here for a cool minute. You want to bring the stuff with you so we can kind of kill two birds with one stone while we're there?
I feel like it would probably be a good idea. The only issue is that I don't know how involved I want police with our own personal investigation.
I mean, we could just ask them for like a conference room or something and then kind of work out of that. They don't have to be involved. We're just there to look at whatever they're offering us, our part.
That actually sounds like a pretty solid idea to borrow that conference room then. Yeah, killing two birds with one stone. I can be on board with that. Though, really quick, by chance, do you know how to work forensic equipment?
Not really my expertise, so.
All right, because I have this sample of the, I would imagine, corpse. I'm not 100% certain this was the dust sample of the corpse, but I do kind of want to try to see if we can get some identification for any, if there's any kind of way to identify who this body belongs to.
I'm not a forensic guy. You have any forensic background? Like, are you familiar with it all? Otherwise, you might as well ask someone there to just kind of do it for us, and then innocently asking them to identify a sample, like just trying to find out what we have. Not a huge deal.
Yeah, but when that sample turns out to be a person?
We are investigating something where someone died. Just makes sense.
You're right. Okay.
Also, we're the ATF. Like, feed them some bullshit. We'll be fine.
Well, then I'm good to go.
So you head inside?
Mm-hmm.
As you approach, are you looking around, or are you just kind of like approaching the place normal?
I figured we just take the bureaucratic route and go right up to the front and introduce ourselves and say we were kind of being expected.
You wouldn't be like scanning the parking lot or anything like that?
I am.
I wouldn't.
Give me a search, I guess, quick draw as you're doing that, as you're kind of walking in.
The skill I am the best at. A 60% out of a 27% fail.
All right, so something kind of catches your attention out of the corner of your eye, but you don't really notice what it is. Maybe it's something around the dark shadows cast by the kind of burnt out lights in the parking lot and whatnot. But as you kind of push the door in and it swings and it makes a little binging sound to announce someone's walked into the police station, there is a irate man in a motorcycle cut just yelling at the cop behind the desk as you enter, kind of thing. Like the veins are bulging out in his head and his neck, on his scalp type of thing. And he's just laying into this cop who's just kind of, I wouldn't quite say completely just eye rolling at him, but like it's just putting off an aura of, I don't really care. Please go away.
I'm not going to interfere off the bat, but I am going to kind of listen in to assess the situation.
You're trying to be kind of covert about this? Like, how are you going about this? Trying to eavesdrop?
I would say maybe eavesdrop, but also like, you know how when people stand in line in a group and one of them has like their like back turned to like the front of the line? I'm doing that, but I'm going to obviously be attentively listening to the situation that's happening, quote unquote, behind me in terms of like just eavesdrop. But yeah.
Yeah, give me an alertness first.
Okay. 3 out of 50 success.
Yeah, so you're listening in, and the biker dude's not making a ton of progress on what he's saying. He keeps saying that they were like robbed or something like that, and he's very deliberately not saying what they were robbed of, but he keeps saying like, I need to talk to my brother, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, kind of over and over, and like, he'll take care of this. Like, we want to file a police report. But again, refuses to say anything besides they were robbed and he needs to talk to his brother. Give me a stealth.
13 out of 50 success.
You managed to be mostly incognito during that. He doesn't kind of catch you listening in on him. He's not really saying anything useful, but kind of, are you all wearing your ATF windbreakers at this point as you're kind of going about your business?
I mean, I'm assuming we haven't really changed out of our uniform, so I would say yeah. For me, anyway.
Quickdraw has his windbreaker tied around his waist.
I don't have my windbreaker on me at this time.
All right, but so 2 of the 3 of you are?
Yeah, I have it on just like normal natty, just wearing it.
Yeah.
So
He doesn't notice it at first, but like once he does, he kind of like shuts up real quick and then kind of storms out of the police station, like slamming the door really hard as he leaves and slamming it behind him, which is kind of a feat because it's got a whole slow assist on it as it kind of closes. And the cop behind the desk looks at you. I'm sorry. Kind of blinking back to reality almost. I'm sorry. Can I help you? That's sorry about that. That was one of our local color, you could say.
yeah, I gathered. Seemed very level-headed as well from the looks of it. Yeah, you all right?
If I don't have to deal with the Sons of Eris at least once a week, it's a slow week. Kind of glances up at you. Oh, you may have heard of the Sons of Eris. Ever had any run-ins with our favorite biker gang of the area?
Not necessarily. I mean, we're kind of new to the area. We're investigating the thing over at the estates. I don't know if you've been briefed, but we were told to stop by the station.
Oh, right. You're probably here to see the chief. Yeah. About that whole, kind of like starts typing stuff into his little computer. About the whole explosion thing over at Emerald Estates, right?
That's us. And then I kind of turn and point at the back of my jacket and go, that's us.
We don't get too many feds down here. I guess not feds about this type of stuff. Occasional elder abuse or elder scam type of thing. You may have noticed the large portion of the population here is a tad geriatric. Kind of keeps tapping away. I can put you in a room with the evidence we kind of pulled off that. The chief left a note about how just give you all access to it, I guess. He'll be back in a few minutes. Coffee. I know it's a stereotype, but donut or something too. It's kind of getting late in the day, so we'll mostly be packing up for the night. I'm not going to say you'll have the place to yourself, but you'll just have kind of the night shift crew here.
No, I think I'm all right. I don't know about my cohorts, but I'm doing all right. But yeah, we definitely appreciate the space. So if you have a room, like a conference room or something, we can kind of set up shop in briefly for a little while. We would appreciate it.
Yeah, I can hook you up with that. The chief may be back tonight. He said to give him a call if you showed up tonight. So I'll do that once you're settled in. He may be back, he may not. He was interested in meeting you all. We don't get a lot of, house explosions down here, let alone the ATF showing up. So it's, I wouldn't call it like an exciting deal because what happened is obviously tragic, but it's definitely the talk of the town in certain circles, I suppose.
I mean, yeah, especially, given the age group of this town, not exactly kind of common thing, but also then again, explosions, not exactly a common thing at all. So to be expected, but yeah, anything we can do to kind of, help out with the area and find a resolution to what's going on.
I know it's a tad morbid, but a break in the constant flow of bad behavior from our more senior citizens is, in the weirdest way, kind of appreciated. Did you know that the elderly love to shoplift?
Really?
It's like an addiction for them. It's a little bit pathetic, and they steal the dumbest stuff.
Yeah, I would imagine they're not exactly stealing anything high profile. I'm assuming they're stealing small things here and there. I mean, it makes sense. They're looking for any kind of little excitement, which I'm sure in a way kind of makes it easy for you guys to kind of do your thing. So pros and cons, I guess.
There's something quite like the career fulfillment that comes from a 65-year-old man wearing a Rolex calling you a pig for having to read him the riot act for stealing a tube of toothpaste. I hate this town.
Speaking of morbidity, by chance, does your night crew have a forensic analyst?
Kind of gestures around. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but Blancheville's not exactly crime central. Most of the deaths here happen of natural causes or unfortunate excitement happening around here. So anything we have like that, we either send out or have the hospital look into for us. We can fast track something for you, but we're not really doing that type of work here. We're sending it out.
Well, in that case, would you please see if I can get this sample looked at? If you can contact the hospital or anything else like that, I can give you a email to actually no. My email is just absolute. I will unfortunately lose it. Federal bureaucracy. But I can give you a phone number for when the results can kind of come in.
Are you holding up the sample, I guess?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Looks at. Oh shit! Is that the people powder?
You already have a sample of the people powder?
Yeah. Right. You were there at the crime scene after we did the crime scene. Yeah, that's the people powder. Person powder, I guess.
Perfect. Do you have that analysis with you, or?
Oh yeah, it's in the evidence box along with some of that stuff. I don't know what happened in there, but that stuff was like a fine powder across everything.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Kind of nods at this. Yeah, it's weird. Like, have you touched it at all yet?
No. Why would I touch it without gloves?
Right. You weren't there before we knew what it was. Yeah, so it feels like flour, but behaves like, I don't know, like sand almost or something. It's not like, it doesn't feel flaky, like you can't blow it around easily. It actually took us some effort to kind of clean up the crime scene some as a result of that stuff. We thought it might be a biohazard or like a drug or something like that. But yeah, it kind of sits there pretty well once you put it on top of the surface, but like it feels super fine. I was getting it out of my boots for like a whole day after we went through the whole crime scene thing.
Well, if anything, I've got some research and catching up to do. Could you please get that prepared? Do we have a conference room that we can get set up in?
Yeah. Kind of, he gets up and leads you to it. I'll go grab the stuff if you want to set up in here. One of our 2 conference rooms. It's like, you want a key? You're gonna be coming in and out, I guess.
We'll be coming in and out. Yeah.
No fancy Fed headquarters for you to work out of.
I mean, it's
not on temporary assignment.
Yeah, it's either here or working out of the motel, and I think just for the time being, we'd rather work out of here if that's okay.
Kind of bobs his head to understanding. Yeah, I get that. Budgetary restraints or something like that.
You know how it is.
Yeah, something like that.
So he disappears, comes back a few minutes later with a box full of stuff. It's mostly photos and kind of write-ups and some other things along those lines. There is a kind of test tube of the infamous powder wrapped up in what appears to be a lab report of some type. There also is a wallet and a couple cell phones inside the box. Kind of spreads out on the table for you. Yeah. I assume you know the drill. Kind of chain of custody forms in there. Just fill it out, put your name on it. Whoever's in charge can kind of take custody of this stuff, sign it back in. When you're done with it, we'll put it back in the box. Yeah. I notified the chief. He said he may or may not be by. He had a whole thing tonight, I guess. He stops by, he'll probably stick his head in and then head out, I guess. But we weren't totally sure what we were looking at. We got told pretty quickly to just kind of wait till y'all showed up. So I guess welcome to Blancheville. Because of you, we found out that points at one of the cell phones. It had a piece of tape with a name written on it. That is Mr. Newman's cell phone, because you called us from his house by accident, I guess. That solves some problems there. Yeah. Anything, let me know. We have fresh coffee. It's not good, but coffee.
Yep. Much appreciated. And then just out of curiosity, have any of these other phones rang since you've had them in custody, other than one that we called from?
Nah, we assumed either they took some damage or maybe they died in the process or something. I can try and track down a charger for you if you want, but yeah, again, we got told pretty quickly to just kind of let stuff be as it was.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah, if you can find me a charger, I'd appreciate it.
Can do.
Oh, and
speaking of which, sorry, were you about to ask for D batteries?
I was, yes. Do you happen to have spare D batteries?
I'm sure we have something. We went to rechargeable a couple years back for most of our equipment, but I'm sure we got something lying around for the old flashlights or something. You need a lot of them or just like a few?
I just need a few.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's probably around somewhere. See what we got.
Yeah. If you don't, no worries. We'll probably pick some up at the store, but just figured if we can, kill two birds with one stone, always a benefit for us.
What do you need them for?
We need them for believe it or not, an old radio.
The ATF is still using old radios for something?
Long story, but yeah.
Kind of raises an eyebrow at that and goes, all right, yeah, I'll see if I can scrounge some up. You need anything else? Post-it notes, pens, whiteout?
No, I think we're good for now. Post-it notes and a pen would be good, I think. Beyond that, I think we're good to kind of get started.
Yeah, so he vanishes, comes back 2 minutes later with all the supplies for it. Partially empty back of D batteries, some just general office supplies, and drops it off for you. Well, if that's it, that's the end of my shift. The night crews kind of gestures his head out the door. Out there if you want to talk to them, but they're a strange group in my opinion. But yeah, welcome to Blancheville. It's normally pretty boring here.
Yeah, well, much appreciated. Thank you.
With that, he kind of walks out, and you are alone in this conference room with a relatively small box of explosion site recovered objects. There's not a ton of stuff here. As I said, there's a wallet, lab results wrapped around this sample of some type, collection of cell phones, a couple of things still in the box that have not been pulled out. What do you do at this point?
First thing I'm going to do is actually look over to Quick Draw and go, hey, really quick, scan the room, make sure I'm not being watched or recorded or any of that, or if there's not any funny business around here.
Oh, buddy, I'm not SIGINT.
Okay.
I mean, I'll look around, but...
I'll look around, because I have SIGINT, so I can look around. That's fine. Do I need to roll anything specific? I want to just quickly see the room, make sure there's nothing recording us or anything like that.
It's a police station. There's probably security cameras and whatnot. Generally encouraged to have security and kind of, quote, transparency on these types of things.
Okay.
If you were actual ATF, this wouldn't be a problem.
Fine. I was going to go with unplugging the camera route for now.
I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying they probably thought that, oh, hey, we're putting in this room with these cameras. It will help kind of the chain of evidence and stuff like that. This is normal procedure, having the stuff kind of under some level of surveillance. They know kind of who has it and whatnot.
True. Okay.
Let me see if I can work some magic with a little bit of the bureaucratic loophole. And I step outside to talk to the floor manager, I guess, or whoever is the head of...
Whoever's in charge of the night crew?
Whoever's in charge of the night crew.
Sure. So how are you going about this, I guess? What are you thinking about pulling on this? Or what are you kind of thinking about invoking to get the cameras turned off?
With journalistic background, I would imagine that I could just have a weird kind of foreknowledge, or not foreknowledge, but I feel like I could probably summon some sort of statutes or some weird shit that I could use as I need to know where the access of the tapes are at, so I at least can find out where all the information is being stored. And in that way, I could probably go find the information and delete it as I need to, or turn off the stuff. But I have a bureaucracy of 70, and I would like to utilize some weird bullshit. If not, I also have a law of 60 that I could hopefully dick around with.
I asked because with all that background and given your profession, there's a much easier thing to invoke than all that.
Okay, what is that? Because I don't know. Personally.
This is a matter of national security.
The Patriot Act, baby! Sorry, I cut you off. As soon as you said that, I got excited.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yep.
Cool. All right. Awesome. Well, I have a bureaucracy of 70 and a persuasive 70. So if at any point in time I just need to fucking brute force someone and shut them down,
Yes.
Here's hoping that I have the ability to do so.
So I would say that, again, given your background and knowledge of this, you would understand that, and you've probably seen it invoked a couple times in your career, or at least kind of talked to people that have seen it invoked. The way to go about this is to kind of be, maybe coy is the wrong phrase, but kind of like present it as, in this type of situation, as like, hey, I need to talk to you. And in that being like, hey, I need you to do something about the cameras. And don't immediately say it's because of national security, but kind of allude to it and eventually be like, it's a national security problem, potentially. And then be real vague about it. That is kind of the typical, air quotations, correct way to go about using national security in this type of context.
Gotcha. So I try to find the floor manager.
Yeah, you're successful. They're not hiding. And
oh, for sure. Hi. So thank you so much for letting us use your facilities in order to conduct our research. I did notice that there are security cameras, and with that, I would imagine that you would also have audio recording devices inside that room for posterity, for just archival purposes and everything else like that. I have a couple questions. First and foremost, can you please show me where you keep the information, or at least where everything is kind of stored at that time?
Yeah, I can. You're not going to be able to get back to it, though, unless you have, like, keys to it or something.
Can I have access to get to those areas?
I mean, that's a whole process. We got to, like, put you through the system to get keys, and, well, we lost some of the keys, so we're now real strict about that. But,
okay.
What's the problem? Like, you need to review something on the cameras or something?
No, it's not. It's not that there's a major problem. It's just that officer, and I'm looking at his badge. Is he wearing his badge right now?
Yeah, Quigley.
Officer Quigley. Now, I would imagine that you take your job seriously, yes?
I do.
Okay. In this aspect, when you do serve this community, and you do serve this community finely, I understand that you may have some qualms with just the intensity of the way that you serve this community. I'm asking you now if you are able to step up into the role of being a patriot.
He kind of raises an eyebrow at this. I'm not quite sure I get your drift. It's Agent, right?
Yes. Agent Corey. Now, the materials that we are going to be discussing in that room, unfortunately, is not something that I would like for ease of access to the general public. Do you understand what I'm saying?
His eyes start to go a little bit wide at this. So you're saying it might be a security concern, is what you're saying, yeah?
Now, see, this is why I felt comfortable in being able to get into this. Can I ask for you to be our immediate liaison, or is there someone that you could better recommend in terms of best serving the United States of America?
Oh, yeah, no, things are pretty dead tonight. What do you need exactly for this? We can, like, shut the stuff off in that room if that's what you're talking about.
That sounds like an amazing idea. Thank you so much for suggesting that.
Yeah, he's almost kind of like, giddy's the wrong phrase, but there's a kind of excitement in his voice all of a sudden. He's like, yeah, we got told this might be a thing when you came down. Yeah, not a lot of ATF coming to town type of thing. Kind of leans close. Is it terrorists?
Now, I can't confirm or deny what's going on exactly, but if it is something that you are concerned with, just know that you are doing your part to keeping America safe.
I have nods at this. Yeah, come with me. He leads you through the police station to kind of security, or kind of the server room, for lack of a better phrase. And he's like, okay, so it's like I flip these switches here. Your room should be dark now. When you're done, kind of when you're packing up, just send someone out and I can turn this stuff back on. I'll be here all night. Do you need anything else?
No, this is perfect. And if anything, Officer Quigley, do you have a card by chance?
Yeah, pulls one out of his pocket, hands it to you.
Perfect. Hopefully, do you like your position here?
Kind of shrugs at this. It can be a little boring. Blancheville's not exactly the beating heart of excitement most of the time. I leans close again. It's the powder, right?
Again, I can't confirm or deny anything that we're looking at this moment. I feel like I can trust you maybe later on, and if you're looking at other avenues of your career.
I have nods his head enthusiastically and like politely backs off a little. I get it. Yeah. Is it fun being in the ATF, I guess? And you get to travel and stuff like that. It's exciting, right?
Well, would you like to find out at some point?
I mean, possibly, yeah. I suspect you got stuff to do, but maybe like as you're leaving town or something, it'd be great to kind of talk more about this or something. Want to go to Florida for a little while now.
Yeah. Well, if anything, we will contact you if there's anything else that we. Thank you so much.
And nods at this. Leads you back out kind of to the general area and goes, all right, yeah, just go down the hallway, your room's there. Anything, just text the number on the card or come find us. We're pretty easy to find tonight. Just me and another officer here tonight. It's a pretty boring evening. You've been given kind of the lay of the land here out in Blancheville?
For the most part, is there something that you would like to contribute?
I mean, you've got the sons, you've got the old people, you've got Emerald Estates just kind of death gripping everything. You've got kind of gestures to the outside world, Florida out there and the rest of Blancheville County. You been to Ironside yet?
Ironside?
Kind of shrugs at this. It's a nickname for a part of town. It's not actually Ironside. It's I have gestures in a random direction. Let's call it the seedier part of the town.
Gotcha. No, but if that's something that you recommend us looking at.
I mean, I can't say for sure, but if something weird happens in this town, it either is some old people off their meds or something to do with Ironside. It's a whole thing. Not a lot here happens, if I'm being honest. Like, the crime that does happen is people running red lights and people being too old to drive for the most part, but occasionally weird stuff happens. Typically it's the sons, but as far as motorcycle gangs, they're pretty, innocuous.
Well, keep it up with some of these helpful tips, and maybe we'll have a very fruitful conversation later this week.
I nods at this. Looking forward to it. If you need anything, let us know. We may do a coffee run in an hour or so. If you want anything, I'll either me or the other officer will stick our head in and see if you want anything from that.
Don't worry. Again, this is something that we would just kind of like to keep to ourselves until we know for sure that we can do a general debriefing. But I will go ahead and let my team know, and if we do need something, I will text you.
And nods at this. Understood.
I would like to head back to the conference room.
Yeah. Easy enough to find your way back there.
What's it called? Stuff's off right now?
Yeah.
Cool.
The cameras weren't hidden. You can see them, and there's no, there was a red light on previously. The red light is now off type of thing.
Cool beans. Once I head back into the room, cameras off. We are officially off the record. Cool.
Beautiful work.
I figured it's Florida. They would like to do as much as they can to serve their country.
You hit him with the old Patriot Act special?
I alluded to that. I even maybe alluded to a career experience or something. Either way, if you guys have a coffee order, let me know. He's going to be doing a run in about an hour or so.
Not only did you get the cameras off, you got us coffee too? What a smooth operator. I'll start digging through the files in the meantime as I was saying that.
Yeah, so there's not a ton here. It's a lot of photos of the blown up building. It's useful. It gives some context type of stuff. They managed to do some chalk outlines and kind of like tag the place, and there's a narrative that goes along with that. It's a narrative you all, for the most part, know because you know, lived it. There's not a lot of revelations to be found in that. There are the 4 cell phones. There is something still in the box, though. That was not pulled out when you were kind of going through that. There's also the lab tests and the sample.
Can I see whether or not they have any major information regarding the other agents that were with us?
What are you looking for exactly?
How much information was released and whether or not that I could ask for some of the materials to be redacted?
The materials you have on the other agents are actually a tad contradictory. It's not 100% clear if they're actually alive or dead. It was released that they were dead, but there does appear to be some alteration, and maybe the fact that at least a couple of them were alive at time of recovery and then died on the way to the hospital or something like that. It's not been the best kept up, and there's some scratched out and kind of like scribbled over stuff, but also you're here now, so that means ATF agents survived well enough. Like, there's even a note saying like to be handed over to ATF when they arrive as part of the kind of collection of things.
Cool. I would like to, at least for if there is any information on me that seems correct, I would like to see if I can make a compilation and ask Officer Quigley to redact or edit some of the materials.
Nothing super useful. Whoever kind of helped clean this up or help obfuscate this did a pretty good job of keeping exact details out. Like, it's a rough description of you. Like, what is Agent Query's hair color?
Like blonde.
Yeah, it mentions you as like blonde female agent or something like that. Just real generic stuff.
Cool. Right on. Okay, so what else is in the box, I guess, if we haven't pulled everything out?
Do you want to see what else is in the box?
Yes.
All right. So in the bottom of the box are 7 partially exploded grenades. They are no longer dangerous. They exploded and didn't like explode all the way, or exploded and didn't kind of fully destroy themselves. But there is a collection of assorted, survived some of the explosion grenades. But yeah, collection of grenades in the bottom of the box. Not dangerous, just partially exploded, like didn't fully function correctly or something.
Can I inspect these a little bit more? Is there anything that is kind of sticking out or like intriguing about the fact that, other than the fact that like this is what nearly killed us?
I mean, like, you're taking them out of the box, I assume?
Yes, I'm gloving up, and I am going to take them out of the box, see if there's anything that like was marked on them or someone had placed a sticker as points of interest.
Sure. Yeah, so you pull them out, put them on like the table, I assume?
Yes.
Yeah, so as you're doing that, one of the pins from one of the spent grenades kind of fully falls away from it and hits the ground, like a just, in this moment, deafening clang sound. Everyone give me a sand check.
This helplessness or adapted to violence?
This will be a helplessness.
And you said sand check?
Yep.
I'm adapted to helplessness.
Fair enough.
All right. 23 out of 84% success.
22 critical out of 59% success.
All right, so Agent Query, you recover 1 point of sand damage, as is our critical sand success rule. Agent Quantity, you are unaffected by the sound effect that almost killed all 3 of you. Agent Quick Draw, it's barely a sound you care about type of thing. And yeah, you have a collection of grenades in front of you. The first thing that leaps out at you as kind of a tad strange about this is Quick Draw probably has a better sense of this, but like, these grenades are all different. Like, there is a different style and material and look to all of them. Like, there's a kind of lack of cohesion across the board to them.
All right, so I guess we could see that this person or whoever did this or set that trap up didn't really have a single supplier, or maybe this was part of their personal collection. You know, okay, so as I'm understanding it, that wizard whose house we visited, Sebastian Gunter, if what I think was happening was that this person was living for an exorbitant amount of time, this could honestly have just been something that he amassed over time. I know I sound absolutely crazy right now, but like, let me just throw some spaghetti at a wall.
All right, go on.
And I don't know how, but with something that prepared, Sebastian knew that we were coming. I can't think really if there's anything more out of this. I would need to take some time maybe with the journals and see whether or not he wrote anything down. But otherwise, that's just kind of a basic thing that I'm experiencing now, or I'm just thinking about now. Otherwise, I don't know. I just wanted to put that on the table. I'm going to read through this forensic analysis. Does anyone have any kind of, I mean, like, you could absolutely tell me I'm going crazy or anything else like that, but did anyone have 2 cents on that concept?
I don't get paid to think.
I mean, anything's really on the table here, but I don't know.
What are your explosives and military history at, Agent Quickdraw?
My demolitions is 60 and my military science is 60.
Yeah, both of those are enough to kind of start to, now that you're looking at these in more detail, you're starting to piece together some stuff. What you're seeing, you have not seen that type of maker model out of like a Vietnam era movie or something along those lines. Like, it's by modern standards, a bit of an antique. A couple of these appear to be, you'd guess, or you'd label them Russian surplus of some type. And a couple of them are probably, I don't know, like late 90s, early 2000s, Iraq era type of equipment. Not the most modern of technology, but all viable explosives, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, old explosives, probably what you'd be able to pick up on the not illegal, but not necessarily legal market. You know, like military surplus. This is all old.
So going off that, give me a criminology.
30% out of 50% success.
This is the type of stuff arms dealers like to sell.
Yeah, my guy sells this shit all the time.
Okay, so that was immediately shot down. That's feeling a lot. I feel a little bit better about generally everything else. Cool. Thank you for grounding.
Yep.
So where around here would they sell this stuff? I mean, well, it is Florida.
I mean, we can't just chalk up everything as it's just Florida. These are grenades. I highly doubt that that's something that we could just kind of go to the Walmart for.
It wouldn't be a Walmart, but wouldn't put it past some shady dealer at a gun show to have something like this.
A possibility.
I mean, the worst thing I've ever really picked up was like a switchblade downtown at like some sketchy knife shop. But Quickdraw, you have a guy? Does your guy know how to trace this back?
No, probably not. I mean, he probably bought it from some guy, some quartermaster overseas that, you know, wants to make a quick buck.
Got it. Okay.
So as you're saying that, Quickdraw, your phone buzzes.
He just holds up a finger and answers it.
So it's an email, actually, not a phone call.
Take a look at it.
It is the list of weapons connections you asked for a little while back from your contact. And it says, yeah, you're not in the greatest spot for it type of thing. There's a couple options. There's a few gun stores that are of note. It does mention if you're looking for serious hardware, you want some local biker gang.
All right. Either you cool dealing with like biker types?
Like the dude up front?
No, like, you know, the type.
The TV type? Like worse than the TV type?
Sure, like if you want to compare them to like Sons of Anarchy, you might get it kind of right.
Yeah, I could deal with like white collar crime. I deal with white collar crime and policy, but otherwise, that's a little out of my league.
Yeah. So, I mean, I got some contacts around here, and I mean, I can go run them down. I'm just not the best at talking to people. It's probably best that you don't come, Quarry. But, I mean, you might be able to talk a little bit better quantity. You look pretty. I'm the guy who's with you, keeping you safe.
I look pretty?
Yeah, you got the pretty boy look. Look, all I'm saying is I can go do this on my own. I might be able to dig something up.
No, we'll go.
All right, because it's likely that some of these guys probably sold this shit to our guy.
Well, and it's something we definitely need to look at, so we should skedaddle then.
Do we want to finish running down whatever's here before we pop out? Also, we're going to need some cash.
Well, okay. Do we want to meet back here or meet back at the hotel room? Because if you're telling me that I probably shouldn't come along, then I could at least go through the tapes here. Because if you were feeling a little insecure about me like being by myself, I'm not. I'm in a police station. And in this instance, I can go ahead and turn the recordings back on.
Oh, I'm not super worried about you in a police station.
Yeah, I'd have to say I'm less worried you staying in a police station than, I don't know, the bedroom of some magical Nazi wizard. So I think we're good if you stay here.
Okay. I still have all that footage to go through, as well as this report that I want to get through as well.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
All right. So I'm staying here, and I'm going to do some research. Are you guys going to go talk to a biker gang right now? Is this like peak biker gang activity time?
I mean, they usually have a bar they like to frequent, or, a bar they run. No, we got to go get cash first. Either you rich.
I still have student debt.
Yikes. Okay.
There was a stack of bills in the box you got from Tranche.
I guess I'm taking the team fund.
Yeah, take the team fund. Might as well.
All right, let's go get some new toys or get shot.
You don't have the name of the gang for what it's worth.
We'll figure it out.
Wait, I thought we had the name of a biker gang, or is this a different one?
You have a name of a biker gang.
Yes, I have the name of one. Sons of Aris, if I remember correctly.
Eris, but yes.
Aris, yeah.
Like Aries? Or like ARIS?
ERIS.
ERIS.
So, we gonna go?
Might as well.
All right.
How are you going to find this biker gang?
Look in the news. See what common biker gangs around here end up in trouble.
You are also at a police station.
I was going to say, we're in a police station. We could ask one of them to look up any. I'm sure if it's a biker gang, they've had a previous run-in with one of the members, and we can probably find out some details from them as far as like the officers that are working the night shift.
Yeah, just ask them if they know any that are trafficking arms or suspect it.
Okay. Yeah. So I guess you and I can start heading over and we can have a conversation while we're heading out anyway. So
just remember, the magical not words are national security. They'll tell you anything.
Yep. I'm aware. And who's a officer you spoke to?
Quigley.
Quigley? Okay. I'll talk to Quigley first then, since you've already kind of buttered them up a little bit. Yeah. So I'll go and look for Quigley.
Easy enough to find him. Do you go with him, Quick Draw?
I'll go wait outside. I look shady.
Fair enough. Yeah, so Quantity's easy enough to find Quigley kind of as you approach the go. One of the other two. What do you need, Agent?
Yeah, had some questions for you, kind of just a little bit. We need some information about some of the local riffraff around here. Have you guys had any run-ins with any of the, I guess, motorcycle clubs that maybe have been involved with arms dealings or anything on that front?
Kind of laughs at this a little bit. My understanding is you met one of Blancheville's prodigal sons when you showed up here.
Yeah. Well, we did see a gentleman who seemed kind of flustered and upset and kind of ranted about something being stolen.
Yeah, that's Rockman.
Oh, Rockman. Okay. And I'll write that down.
Yeah, he rides with the Sons of Eris, our very own homegrown, local, whatever you want to call it, biker gang.
Okay. Interesting. They've been kind of messing around with some arms dealing they shouldn't have kind of situation, or what else have they been up to?
Kind of shrugs at this. Nothing we can really pin on them. If I'm being honest, they kind of keep to themselves, and whatever they're up to, it's not happening here in Blancheville, as best I can tell, but they're loud, obnoxious, annoying, getting fights, etc., etc. They're not just a local thing, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not from around here, but When you say not local, what are we thinking? Like out of town, nearby, or?
Oh no. The Sons of Eris have a local chapter house here in beautiful Blancheville. It's just not the only location the Sons of Eris have set up shop. They're a national organization, I think, or something. We got told once. Someone from some gang task force came through talking about them, and yeah, the ones we have here seem pretty tame compared to the rest of them, I guess.
Gotcha. Okay. Where's their? You mentioned they have they've set up shop. At least they have a home chapter here. Yeah, do you know where it's located at?
Yeah, that'd be the Sundown in Paradise.
Sundown in Paradise. That kind of far from here. How long we thinking?
Kind of nods outside with his head. It's over in Ironside. It's their bar that's attached to the Eris Repairs auto shop.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, once again, we appreciate your assistance in this matter. And yeah, we're gonna kind of go for a drive for a bit, but my buddy's still back in the room, so he'll be in there for a little while. But we'll be back.
You're actually going to go to Sundown in Paradise tonight?
I mean, maybe.
Your death wish, they've been real pissy about something. Like, I guess they got robbed recently or something.
Well, that's true. He was talking about that, but yeah, I'm, we may not step inside. We maybe just kind of take a look around briefly. Who knows? But we'll see.
Kind of shrugs at this. Probably not supposed to say this, but seeing as you're going to Sundown, the leader of the organization is some dude by the name of Matthew Morrow or something like that, and Rockman's real name is Dennis Rhodes. He's the brother of one of the officers here. It's a whole thing.
Oh, interesting. Don't you just love the dynamic of like one brother chose the law and the other one chose lawlessness?
That's definitely the nice way of looking at it.
Yeah, that must make a very interesting situation if there's ever arrest involved.
You met Dustin yet?
Can't recall.
Goes by Dusty, I think, with some frequency.
Possibly. I mean, I've only been here a few days, and so it's been busy. But
yeah, he's the older brother of the two, and you would know it looking at him, I guess. Yeah, you met Rockman on your way in. He's, let's call him what he is, not Blancheville's finest.
Yeah, well, heard that loud and clear.
You want some backup or anything? The Sundown in Paradise isn't exactly a public bar, I guess, and they've been known to be a little less than welcoming to on the outsiders feels wrong, but like in the nicest way possible. The ATF rolls up on a biker gang bar. That feels like the recipe for disaster, especially at night,
Yeah, understandable. Well, if you've got some patrols who are available, we wouldn't say no to the company.
See what I can scrounge up for you. It's a slow night here. I'm just generally back to the police station. I could probably send my cohort out with you or something. You sure don't want to wait till morning? It'll be a hell of a lot safer. At least they'll be hungover then.
Possibly. Let me ponder on that. But either way, if you could find someone, that'd be appreciated. Just in case we do end up going tonight.
Shrugs at this, and as he's shrugging, one of the phones at the front desk starts to go off, and he kind of like holds a finger up to pause for a second, walks over and picks it up, and does the whole like Blancheville PD. And he goes, okay, who's missing? Okay, yeah, we can put that out for you. Can you spell that for me? How do you pronounce that? Neffely? Victoria Neffely. Okay, silver alert for Victoria Neffely. And she was last seen in her room. Okay. Wow, someone got out of the secure wing of EE. Sorry, I shouldn't say it that way. Yeah, we'll put that out and kind of start typing away at the computer in front of you at the desk type of thing. And a couple seconds later, your phone buzzes in your pocket, Agent Quantity.
Uh-huh.
And it is a silver alert for a Victoria Neffely who has gone missing from her room at the Emerald Estates.
I'm assuming when I got the alert, so did...
Oh, yeah.
I go, all right, well, Much appreciated, and I'll keep you posted. I'm going to go signal to Quick Draw to come back inside so we can go regroup in the conference room really quick.
Quick Draw, you're outside. Your phone buzzes for a silver alert for a woman that you saw probably about an hour or so ago in the presence of something truly unnatural. What's going through your head as you kind of even look at the phone for that long? Are you the type of person that acknowledges silver alerts?
No.
Fair.
So I get like the buzz and I don't even read it. I just click it off and then I'll see the signal to come back in and I'll walk in.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that Query has gotten the alert as well at this point.
Oh yeah, you've all gotten the same silver alert.
Okay. So I walk into the conference room and then I look at Query and go, you see anything interesting come up on your phone?
Yeah, I kind of regret turning off that light. But
What are you guys talking about?
You didn't check your phone?
no, wait, hold up. Remember, that could have also been the cleanup crew kind of doing their job.
Could be. I'm going to send a quick text to Tranche just to ask. Cleanup crew at EE ?
And she responds back with, I'm quick, I'm not that quick.
And I will forward the silver alert to Tranche shortly after that response.
You get no response for that.
Okay. Well, that might be a mystery for another time, but our friend went missing and Tranche said not the cleanup crew. So anyway, found out where the crew is at. It looks like they're over at Ironside's some bar and they're attached to a Eris motor shop or something like that. Apparently it's going tonight may not be a good idea. We could go in the morning. But yeah, apparently they're pretty riled up considering one of the guys we ran into earlier on the way in here to the police station. I don't know if you guys remember the gentleman who was very upset at the front counter. They are one of those members. And they seemed pretty upset about something missing. So we could play our cards and pretend we can figure something out for them. Or we can go tomorrow morning.
We're not, I mean, if we're going, we're not going as cops, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not exactly, I don't look like the biker type, but apparently I'm cute. So there's that. I don't know. Is it a good idea to go to a biker bar where they're pretty fucking riled up about something being stolen?
I don't know if it would be a good idea for you. I mean, no offense.
None taken.
I mean, we can wait for the morning. I think that's fine.
I'd also catch less of them there. Not have to deal with the whole crowd. Who knows? Fun little tidbit I did find out. One of the brothers of the people in the biker gang is one of the cops who works here. So that's kind of fun.
Weird.
Yeah.
Which brother?
Goes by the name Dusty? Well, anyway, the one we ran into earlier that was upset, I guess his name's Rockman. Name's actually Dennis. But yeah, brother's Dusty or something like that, I think.
I will note that down to research after and do my video editing.
I don't want to waste the night, so we should still go look at something. Unless we all want to sit here and stare at video footage for a few hours.
I mean, you got a lot of footage to get through. Like, it's not a small amount of information to get through by any measure.
We can split up the video footage in. I look at Quick Draw 2 ways. We can cut this in half. And we can scrub through this at twice the speed instead of just one person going through. Quick Draw, do you want to participate in the most boring television show in the world, or
what am I looking for?
something that seems off? Someone that could fit the profile of Sebastian Gunter, who is so far a very tall and very handsome man.
I think that you'd be the best at determining that, no?
Probably. That is why I was thinking split it in half. Quantity and I go through both of these. Would you be able to do recon then?
What do you want me to recon?
Recon the, I would imagine the Sons of Ares is the folks you're looking for, or whatever have you? Or do you seem to know that kind of?
No, I don't I don't want to show up and stake him out. If anyone like sees me and remembers my face the next day, I'm just going to get shot in the bathroom.
Gotcha. Okay.
Look, I mean, I can be an extra set of eyes for you in hand, but like, I don't go through paperwork. All right.
I understand. I just wanted to make sure that I'm playing our strengths. Speaking of which, while everything was kind of happening, I wanted to have already started going through the people powder report. What's up with the people powder?
The powder is strange. It is organic in origin. As best the people testing it could conclude, it could be best described as something between ash and like ground up human might be the way of thinking of it. There's not a ton of useful DNA left in it. Like they can't pull a name or anything out of it. What they were capable of kind of pulling out was that you basically got kind of like the 23andMe level of DNA testing out of this. Like the person appeared to have been very Eastern European, very primarily German, a little bit of Austrian mixed in, but yeah, not a lot of racial diversity on this one. Not a ton they could pull out of it. Like the material is just kind of weird unto itself. Like as was described, there's some notes about kind of the texture of it. It dissolves strangely in water. There are several notes kind of as part of the examination of how unbelievably fragile this material is. Like it seems to want to degrade. It does not degrade naturally by itself. There's a lot of speculation about how just complete lack of moisture there is in this and kind of how it really feels like sand or like ground up like pottery almost or something. There's a very fineness to it. But again, it's like someone took a human, petrified them maybe or something, and then like ground them up, except that's not what happened because there was still enough kind of trace DNA to pull out some real basic background information about this person. They were Caucasian, but not much else beyond that could be pulled out. Male, that kind of stuff.
Can I pull out the book? Wait, hold up. I took the journals, correct?
Yeah.
I remember cracking open a book and there's being something about like building. Was it like building the immortal Jew?
Yes, that was the kind of manual thing you took pictures of that was in a mix of Hebrew and German.
Okay, cool. So I have photo documentation about that. I would like to change my focus, I guess. Actually, quick draw. Can you be another set of eyes? Something about the people powder is kind of ringing with something that I kind of just saw in the library. I was able to take a quick photo of one of the journals, but I need to see if I could kind of try to translate or connect some dots as best I can.
Are you asking me to look at the people powder?
No, I'm going to look at the people powder and I'm going to focus on the people powder. Could you look at the footage?
Yeah, sure. Fuck it.
So what are the footage are you looking at? Like you looking at what they have for the kind of like various security events? Like give me something that you can kind of search through or kind of a topic you can investigate inside of the footage. You've got a whole mix of stuff to deal with. You've also got stuff like the call logs from Ackerman's place, like just general kind of roundup of information that a facility might be able to provide about Edward Ackerman and his domicile and whatnot.
I think that security incidents or specifically like moments of interest with Ackerman where Samuel might show up.
Sure. Yeah. So you're kind of like, they have a list of like, hey, go to these timestamps on these files to review kind of the security incidents and stuff. You're kind of going through those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of quick glance. The gross majority of those are elderly people trying to key code out of the security area and it just failing and it getting tagged as a result of that. And that happens easily kind of like at least 10 times a day type of thing. Like it's a pretty common occurrence. And there's some note about the numbers that go along with it. Typically it's them like trying just a seemingly random number, like just the number 1 4 times or something, and then trying to get out. It paints a certain kind of sadness of maybe these people don't want that level of confinement, but for the most part, you're not seeing anything too strange. Quantity, what are you doing through all of this?
I mean, I figured I'd be watching the second half of the tapes on this one.
Yeah, so what are you kind of investigating in the tapes, or what are you going through to as part of this investigation?
I guess I'm trying to identify specifically like Manfred, And then now, of course, like the younger version, I guess, is, what do we say it was? I can't remember his name. Sebastian Gunter, yeah. But yeah, I'm trying to find like times that they had checked in to get like a visual on who they are.
Yeah, that's doable. Yeah. You can kind of go through and pick out all the times that someone signed in to visit Ackerman. You have stuff like phone numbers as well. Do you want to kind of like go through that stuff as well?
Yeah, and I also have the voicemail that I requested access.
Yeah, you have all of that, and you're kind of going through all of that. What are you running down, Agent Query?
So I want to shift my focus from the journals to the text about building the Immortal Jew. I would imagine that with my occult being at 70, I can recognize that this is something similar, or this feels very Gollum-esque.
Yeah, so you like, have you looked up like the German word for golem or something like that, and you're kind of going through all that?
Yes.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. All right, so quantity, what you're doing is probably the easiest in some ways out of all of this. You're just kind of going through information, you're just kind of piecing stuff together. You pretty quickly get a picture of what Manfred Newman / Sebastian Gunter looked like, and surprise, surprise, he is exceptionally Aryan looking. He is oddly young for someone at the Emeraldy. Like, he looks like a surprisingly in shape 55, 60-year-old type of situation. Like, maybe he's there because it's just fun to be retired there type of thing. But there is, in the video footage, you see of him checking in and kind of like the stuff that gets caught around. He seems to be really with it, like could be living a totally normal life. Maybe he's just there for the socialization aspect of it or something. But yeah, and he seems quite with it. He also comes to visit Ackerman almost every single day without fail. Like, the amount of time he spends with Ackerman is just through the roof. Also, Ackerman every single day, at least once a day, calls the number 505-744-0815. Typically sometime around like 12:30, 1 o'clock, if not multiple times a day.
12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning or evening?
Afternoon, like a little after, like, 1 p.m.-ish type of thing. Maybe a little bit before that, maybe a little after it, but kind of roughly in that time span.
All right, so I'll make a note of the times and phone number itself. Okay, and you also said I got a visual on what, both, did you say both Sebastian and Manfred, or just Manfred?
Manfred and Sebastian are the same person.
Oh, I know, but like, because one of them is supposed to be older, one is like younger or something like that.
The younger guy is someone else. That's someone named Reinhard Galt.
Oh, okay. I'm confusing Galt with them. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I have a visual on them. Perfect.
Yep. Yeah. Agent Query. Now that you're looking for the word golem, it is all over these pages.
Fucking tight.
On a hunch, you look up what the word golem looks like in Hebrew, and it's all fucking over this. Like, as you start kind of like, maybe start like looking for other words that relate to golem, like the word scroll and whatnot. Some stuff is missing. Like, this is not a traditional, as best you're kind of piecing together. Obviously, you can't read German or Hebrew, so you can't like get the full picture of it or understand what's going on. But like, this seems to be a variant on the traditional golem myth you can kind of look up as part of this, which is that you have a creature made out of clay or sand, basically kind of like a handmade statue figure that you put a scroll in its mouth and you kind of have control, and it's an unstoppable kind of some between killing machine, warrior, or guardian type of thing. But yes, this manual that you have seems to be the weirdly step-by-step, almost like instructional manual on how to make, or something along those lines, a golem.
Is me reading and translating this heavily occult and unnatural text fucking with me in any way?
No, because the fact it's in German and Hebrew and you can't actually understand what it's telling you to do, just kind of getting the gist of things, it's a level of separation that, like, this is weird, but like, without actually what it's saying, it's like knowing, okay, I recognize this word, it stops the rest of it from being a problem because you're not really understanding what's going on. You're just seeing kind of pieces sticking together, if that makes any sense.
Right on. But if I try to compile and understand, or like write down and translate, that's probably going to end up with me not having a great time, correct?
That's a separate topic. Like, it's just words to a certain extent.
Okay, cool.
It appears to be written in a very mechanical approach. Like, the way this kind of little pamphlet you're leafing through or kind of swiping through because it's on your phone is assembled. It's not like a spell book or any occult text you've ever seen before. It's almost kind of
tight. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's almost kind of like I describe it more as like those artistic like illustrations of anatomy and stuff like that. Very scientific, not like a picture of human bones, but like that kind of in between where it's like we didn't have cameras that could take picture of broken bones. So you had to sketch it at one point, as would be apropos of a book or kind of instruction manual written in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 20s type of thing.
Cool. Can I text Tranche and ask if we have any guidance on how to deal with golems, possible golems?
You don't get a response immediately, but eventually a text comes through of the fuck's a golem.
Never mind. You'll probably get it back on the report afterwards.
No response.
Right on. I guess, like, with that being said, I'm going to do my best to kind of compile any kind of folk knowledge about golems and see if I can find any, if there's any, like, not corroborating evidence, or if there's any kind of, like, least common denominator sort of materials.
Sure. Yeah, it's kind of researching the general concept of golems or something.
Yes.
Cool. Last but not least, Agent Quickdraw. Are you a patient computer user?
I think so, probably, yeah. I think that despite how he seems, he's pretty used to having to just deal with shitty situations, and using a computer is a shitty situation. So I'd say, yeah, fairly patient.
Yeah, so you're probably scanning through at like 2x speed or something, paying enough attention, but not like going frame by frame looking for stuff or something.
Yeah, 100%. Not that thorough.
Yeah, so from the night before your arrival in Florida, there is a security event that happens at the kind of checkpoint to get out of the high risk area. And the footage for it is kind of strange. You've seen dozens, hundreds, maybe not quite 1,000, but an absolute ton of Emerald Estate staff kind of mispunching in a number and then taking a picture of them or tagging it into the system, or an old person going up and punching in a number, or a guest kind of going up, pulling out a piece of paper, not typing in fast enough or typing in a number wrong. Very innocuous stuff. It all blurs together. But under the cover of dark around 1 a.m., the video captures what looks like just a monster of a man, like 6'2", 6'4", you're guessing based off the image. It's kind of hard to tell given the angle. Strong jawed, just like a man built to be a linebacker. He kind of punches in the code, it goes wrong once, punches in the code, it goes wrong twice. On the third attempt, it goes through and he exits. He's dressed weirdly, though. It appears he's wearing scrubs, like he's kind of dressed like he works there, but it's a collection of clothing and it fits him really badly.
Whoa. Do I have a good look of his face, or is it kind of like a top down?
Absolutely have a good look of his face.
Old, young?
You'd guess prime of his life, like mid to late 20s, old enough that like his well past puberty, all his muscles have developed, like he is in peak physical perfection he probably ever was. Just slab of a human being, strong features, cunning eyes, dead ringer for the early career photos of Edward Ackerman you saw as part of the briefing.
Hey, I didn't find Samuel, but I think I found Edward.
Wait, what?
Yeah, he like lives.
Yeah, but not this one. This is Edward Ackerman from like 80 years ago.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, here, come take a look.
Yeah, I'll walk over and go take a look.
I am checking it out as well.
Yeah, the picture that Agent Quickdraw's kind of paused on is of mid to late 20s man in exceptional shape. Sharp military hairstyle, clean shaven, a bit of a mistrustful look on his face, maybe a bit of a confused look on his face. Definitely scoping out around him as he kind of awkwardly works this keypad. And it is undeniably a match for one of the photos you saw of a young Edward Ackerman.
Is this the first time you saw Edward Ackerman, or is this like, does this version of Edward Ackerman appear again?
The first time I've seen it.
What is he doing?
I don't fucking know. Trying to get through a door.
Could you hit play? Like, what's going on with this? So he's fiddling with a keypad? Like, does he look generally confused, or does he know what he's doing?
That'd be hard to tell from the video. The fact he failed the punch code twice and got on his third try. Read into that what you will.
Okay. I take a quick photo of that, and I note the timestamp of the first sighting of young Edward Ackerman. Did you fast forward to see if this happens again, or?
This was the night before we arrived.
Oh, shit.
What?
Yep.
So he's exiting Emerald Estates, or he's entering Emerald Estates?
Exiting
Emerald Estates.
Exiting the high security area.
He doesn't belong in the high security area.
He doesn't belong in that body.
Do we have the relevant footage of the high security area? Like, is he found on any other floors? Do we backtrack him from like his, or does it only record when like the punches failed?
I don't have the whole like setup here. I can't like switch between the cameras. I got to pop different tapes in.
Yeah, no, let's look. I mean, are the tapes like labeled?
Yeah, there's a guide to it and stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, we have some sort of like reference point based off this time. So let's just follow the tapes and see what we can find.
I'm going to pop outside. Is there anything else that could play the security footage available for use?
Yeah, you could probably requisition some like extra laptops or something if you so wish.
Right on. Yes, I'm going to jerry rig a multi-screen situation.
So you're all just kind of boring down on the footage at this point?
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly intrigued by this.
This will take some time to go through. So we'll easily take the rest of the night, if not push into the morning some at this point, but you're going to kind of like process through all this.
Mm-hmm.
Quick Draw is going to pass out if the two of them are jumping on it.
Sure.
Query can't help herself. She's going to be trying to figure out what's going on.
Yeah, so as the sun rises, Query and Quantity, you have pieced together that this is the only time that Edward Ackerman, or this doppelganger or whatever, the young Edward Ackerman apparently, was caught on film this way. But in the 2 days prior to the kind of captured on camera leaving the high security area where he lived historically, like that's where his little house was type of thing, in the high security kind of outdoor area, he spent like the day and a half before that making numerous trips back and forth. That was the only time he got caught on the security system. It's the only time he interacted with the pin pad type of thing. But you see him moving just stuff through, like carts of food, et cetera, but there's like no food on it, just constantly bringing stuff to and from the outside into his house. You can kind of track him through the building, but also like it's not perfect. And they did not provide you with everything. They provide what they thought was kind of relevant to what happens. There's obviously holes all over it. But as best you can tell, at least the day prior to him getting caught on camera at 1 a.m. at the keypad, he appeared to be moving a large quantity of something into his house. He then leaves that one last time and never comes back. There's even some footage of all 6 of you kind of showing up, going to the house, and the explosion damages kind of the localized cameras around the house at that point.
So he left and that wasn't him. So who the fuck was in there?
Wait, just so that way I'm parsing this correctly. He walked in as young Ackerman and then left as a completely different person?
There's a day and a half of footage of young Ackerman coming and going from his house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then he left as young Ackerman, never came back. Then we showed up and then it exploded, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Can we also have been looking, or at least like taking note of when the last time we saw old Ackerman was, or if there was an old Ackerman ever?
Yeah, about 2.5 days prior to the explosion, the last time you see who you assume is Old Ackerman. You've not met Old Ackerman, obviously, but he is being escorted in a wheelchair by the man that you have figured out is Manfred Newman / Sebastian, as he kind of wheels him into his house.
From that, do we see Old Ackerman leave again, or do we see, is there like a time change, or at least like a weird change where it's like Old Ackerman enters the building, young Ackerman leaves?
On the footage you've been provided with, you never see Old Ackerman again. You also never see Manfred Newman / Sebastian Gunther ever again.
Okay. Goddamn. Okay. So Sebastian Gunther, Old Edward Ackerman was in the building, was in the house, and those were the last people in the house before we blew up. But young Ackerman was seen exiting the high security area the day before we arrived. I think I need to go to bed.
Yeah, that's holy shit.
Okay, it is tomorrow. It's tomorrow right now. We have a phone number that we need to investigate. We have a radio frequency that we need to investigate. And I have a phone picture of the footage. I think we need to talk to Marshall Clark maybe again, if he's not fired from losing a person.
I mean, might as well, but
why the fuck is young Edward Ackerman walking around 100 years later?
Yeah. I'm going to operate under the assumption that body swap shit's going on. This just feels like some body swap nonsense. We've got a wizard involved, so sort of magic bullshit's going on. Either way, we know who we're looking for, and it's not actually Manfred. We're looking for young freaking Ackerman at this point.
Probably young Manfred, too.
When did you wake up?
Sorry, I just thought I'd give my 2 cents. I'm going back to bed.
No, it's fine. I think we need to get some sleep, so we're not also just dragging. I mean, what time is it right now?
Oh, the sun's coming up. I'm pretty sure it's like 5.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean, if we're going to do the radio things at noon, according to the stuff I was looking at here and some of these logs, they called this number between like noon and 1 o'clock or something like that. So the time that we need to be ready, or just, back at the estates to try the radio and make a phone call, it's going to be around just before noon.
Okay. Hold up. One last thing. And I pull up Reinhard Galt's Facebook profile again.
Yeah, you never found that.
Manfred Newman, Sebastian's Facebook profile.
Yeah.
We found, and it was very curated.
Yep.
Reinhard Galt was just the assumed nephew of Manfred Newman.
Yeah. I'm
feeling like Reinhard Galt. Oh man. We need to get to the motel. We need to rest. We can't be thinking like this right now.
On behalf of all of us at Negative Modifier, thank you for listening, and we do hope you enjoyed this episode. If you are not already a subscriber, please consider becoming one, partially so you do not miss our next episode, but mostly because it helps new listeners find us. In addition to that, if you liked the episode, please consider clicking the thumbs up button below. If you'd like to further support the show, please consider joining us on Discord or becoming a Patreon patron.